What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have a full body beginners workout. The big thing I noticed with clients is that they have no clue where to start. You don't need 20 exercises. You need simple and effective movements, all right? I'm gonna give you a full routine and a full breakdown of each exercise, the rationale, and how to perform the exercise correctly, so you have no excuses to hit your goals this year. So let's crack on and get straight into it. The first movement we're gonna start things off with is an overhead variation. I'm not really fussed on which one you do. What I recommend is a machine shoulder press. First, we're gonna start with a warm-up and then we'll take things from there.
I want you guys to take your warm-up serious. The warm-up gives you an opportunity to loosen up your joints and to dial in the movement pattern.
So let's talk about setup. On your shoulder press machine, I ideally want you to have your wrists in line with your elbows, okay? Then you're gonna use the lever to give you some leverage, okay? In this position here, I want you to think about squeezing your shoulder blades in this bottom position, all right? Head back nice and flat. And then the intention is to push up towards the ceiling.
As you're bringing the weight down, I want you to think about driving your elbows to the floor rather than backwards.
Before we move on to our next exercise, what I really want to highlight to you guys is that just because you're a beginner doesn't mean you can't train hard, okay? Still need to make sure you have intensity. Give yourself a 1 or 2 weeks just to understand the movement. Okay, I need to do this. This is what I need to feel. Oh, this is what Lamar said to do. But once you've done that and nailed it in and you're confident and you're happy, I really want you guys to push. I really want you guys to push and push hard, all right? That's the only way your body's gonna adapt. That's the only way you're gonna get stronger. That's the only way you're gonna see gains and lose that belly or build that muscle tissue that you wanna build, is by training the muscles hard, okay? So just because you're a beginner doesn't mean you need to train like a beginner, all right? As long as you're safe and locked in, don't be scared to push it. The next movement we're gonna go into now is a leg press, all right? It's gonna be our main lower body movement, all right? Cool. To set yourself up, I want you to slide yourself back a little bit, all right? Feet shoulder width apart. I want you to think about tucking your hips back, okay? Thinking about pulling the lever to bring yourself down, okay? With this, I want you to over-exaggerate how far you need to come down. What I want you to do now is pull yourself in tight and think about pushing the pad away. What's important is that you don't overextend, all right? I never want to see your knees locked out fully. In this top position, you're gonna think about descending and coming down under control and avoid your hips tucking up, all right? Keeping that hip tucked just before the weight hits the stack is when you stop.
To make this movement more challenging, I want you guys to avoid resting at the top or bottom position. You're gonna hold for a split second, then go.
What I want to note to you guys is don't be scared to go heavy on your leg press, all right? You have your quads involved, your glutes involved. You can shift weight on this, all right? So on this, go heavy, chase that 12 to 15, and don't be scared when the weight starts to get heavy. Don't start backing out, okay? The lower body can handle it because you have loads of muscles involved. The next move we're gonna get into is a lat pull down. This is gonna target your back. A misconception people have when training their lats and a lat pull down is, oh, I'm just targeting my lats. No, this is targeting your back, all right? And you want that to be the case. More muscles involved, the more calories burn, all right? At this point, there's no need for warm-up. You should be warm from your shoulder press and your leg press. Let's talk setup. So first you want to make sure you're fastened underneath the seat. Then I want you to reach out your wrists just outside shoulder width apart, okay? What I like to get clients to do is lean back from their hip, all right? Before we even start the movement, we shrug up and we shrug down, okay? This is to get the lat lengthened and get the lat back engaged, okay? Once the lats are engaged, you want to think about driving your elbows down towards your pocket, all right?
In the bottom position of this movement, I really want you to focus on squeezing to get the most contraction out of the working muscle.
Out of all the movements we've done so far, this is probably one of the most complicated, and this is because the amount of freedom you have on it. Big mistakes I see on this, right, is people are pulling, coming in, and overextending, all right? Sometimes less is more, okay? If you notice, I'm here, and what's really happened to get me that extra range is my wrist, all right? My lats haven't done any more contracted. So if this is your bottom range, you stay there, okay? What I also see is people are swinging back and forth, all right? You're here, you're not able to contract the lat as best as possible because you're using a lot of momentum. You want to keep your torso fixed, make sure your abs are on, and think about driving your elbows down. Cool, so the next big movement I'm going into is a lying hamstring curl. To set yourself up, you want to make sure your knees are in line with the pivot point here, okay, the axis of rotation. You want to make sure your lats are engaged. The best way to make sure your lats are engaged is dropping your armpits down to your pockets, all right? Toes up, and think about curling your heels towards your glutes.
Think about dragging the weight up rather than just moving the weight up.
The big breakdown I see on this is when people are curling, their hips come off the pad, all right? It's really important when the set starts to get hard, you really think about locking in your lats, all right? This is gonna make sure your abs are on and your hips are not able to move. So you're able to get the most contraction out of the hamstring. Next movement we're getting into is an upper back variation, okay? I don't really mind what grip you use, but we need to target upper back here. So right now I'm using a seated cable row, okay? Let's talk about setup. So you want to make sure your feet are fastened on the bench, all right? This is to avoid your torso rocking back and forth. From here, I want you to lean back ever so slightly, all right? Keeping your chest nice and tall. So the intention of the movement is to drive your elbows out and wide, all right? Squeezing your shoulder blades. That's really going to contract your upper back.
Your chest nice and tall, avoid rounding at the back.
The next movement I'm getting into is a tricep push down, specifically a rope. To set yourself up on this, I need you to have your upper arm in line with your torso, okay? No point being out here because we're trying to get a full length on your tricep, all right? Bring the rope in, elbows tight, and your intention of the movement is to punch the floor, okay? Big breakdowns I see on this movement is as clients are coming up, their elbows are coming forward. Not much has changed in the length of the tricep. The only thing that's changed is the elbow position, meaning the shoulders are off. So you want to keep your elbows fixed back, all right? And then a lot of times clients like to use some momentum to get the tricep down. We're not doing that, all right?
You want to keep your upper arm in line with your torso.
So we're gonna finish off with some Metcon. This is the part most people like to skip. Out of everything we've done, this is just on par and just as important as everything else we've just done. The reason I want you guys to add some Metcon into your training is because it's gonna help you with your tolerance, all right? Your lactic tolerance, your tolerance to handle the burning sensation. Push that barrier. It's gonna help you with your recovery, which is all gonna have that domino effect on how well you're actually gonna train. So you can't skip this out. If you haven't got a prowler in your gym, feel free to do a skier, feel free to do a rower, feel free to do anything that's gonna get your heart rate elevated and then drop back down, elevated and drop back down. My choice is the prowler, and you make sure you give it your all here, just like you did in all the other sets.
Regardless of what Metcon you do, make sure you leave everything in the set.
And cool, that concludes it. Full body session. The big takeaway I want you guys to take from this is, just because you're a beginner doesn't mean you can't train hard, and it doesn't mean you can't come to the gym, all right? The gym has changed my life, and I'm sure it will change yours too. What I want you guys to do moving forward is just stick with this, all right? Try it for 6 weeks, and then if you want to venture out, then that's fair. Main focus of this program and this video is giving you a stepping stone and giving you somewhere to start. Building those habits, building that discipline. Push yourselves. I need you guys to take in as well. You don't need to be perfect, right? This is just free. I want you guys to just show up 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, I don't care. You need to train 3 times a week, train hard, and just build habits and be consistent, all right? When you feel like, okay, I built this discipline, I built these habits, then you can feel free to venture. But until then, I just want you guys to stay consistent and keep showing up for me and yourselves.